Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots. I am a useful idiot, and I'd like to talk about Barack Obama, everybody's favorite topic, and I would like to talk about the fact that Barack Obama is a liar. And I would like to preface that, though, because all presidents are liars. All politicians are liars. That's the nature of it. And so I try not to personalize it too much with Obama. But I do understand why people direct that kind of angst and vitriol towards him. He does exude a certain arrogance, and like it or not, a lot of people, even if they didn't vote for him, were kind of hoping that, maybe this would be different. And of course it wasn't. It never is. So, but as I often say, hate the game, not the player. Obama's out there to take the blows. Bush was out there to take the blows. That's what the president's out there for. He's to create the spectacle. He's the man to, take all the crap from the media and the public and everything else, and then the policymakers are behind. We don't even discuss them. They're back there just directing the country in the direction that they want it to go, and Obama's there just to facilitate that. But anyway, and remember that all these accusations of Obama being a narcissist and Machiavellian and diabolical and the Antichrist and power hungry, that could be the profile of just about anybody that runs for a political office. I mean, look around and realize that anybody that wants to be crazy has got to be huge ego, be power hungry, be Machiavellian, have a personal secret agenda, and is going to be a narcissist and a liar. So that just comes with the territory. So let's make sure that's clear first. So let's go to the list of lies now, though. And there's a lot of really good, quick lists out there, but I'm going to kind of give my spin on this thing and the way I like to do it. And even though I said I don't think it's always appropriate to personalize these things, it can be fun. So we're going to do it today. Here's how it goes. Barack Obama said that he will recognize the Armenian genocide. That's a fucking lie. He never did. He said we're going to renegotiate NAFTA. That's a fucking lie. He never did that. He said we oppose a Colombian free trade agreement. That's a lie. He's all for it now. So he said that if we see money being misspent, we're going to put a stop to it, and we will call it out and we will publicize it. And of course that hasn't happened. There's not enough time in the world to cover all the money that's being misspent. And he said that the head of Caterpillar, once the stimulus had passed, Congress would be rehiring all the people that they laid off. Well, that didn't happen, so that's a fucking lie. And he said they want to go through the federal budget line by line, eliminate programs that don't work, and make sure that those that do work better and cheaper. And of course, we can look at the government right now, and I'll tell you what, if it's firing on all pistons, we're severely disappointed. So anyway, that was a fucking lie. He hasn't gone through line by line. I don't even think he's looked at the federal budget. He just likes to add to it. Let's see. He said, my plan will not help speculators who took risky bets on a rising market and bought homes not to live in but to sell. Well, that's a huge fucking lie, because the real estate market over the last 3 years has been a speculators and investors' playground. They're buying up cheap real estate all across the country, and it's quite a market. And none of Obama's programs have helped at all. In fact, they've exacerbated the situation. Let's see. Instead of allowing lobbyists to slip big corporate tax breaks into bills in the dead of night, we'll make sure every single tax break and earmark is available to every American online. So that's a fucking lie, because not only is that shit not even online, but lobbyists are still putting their big corporate tax breaks into bills in the dead of night. That's how they operate. That's how they've always operated, and they will continue to operate. And this is the same president, I remind you, who said that lobbyists won't work in his White House. Of course, there's 40 of them in there, and they won't fund his campaign. I think every rich bastard and every corporate douchebag in the country is lined up to give him money, except for the corporate douchebags that have lined up to give Mitt Romney money this campaign. Let's see. We will press the Chinese about human rights. That's a fucking lie. He hasn't even brought it up once since he's been president. Oh, this is a good one. if your family earns less than $250,000 a year, you will not see your taxes increased a single dime. Well, technically that's not a lie, because you saw your taxes raised quite considerably more than a single dime. So that's a big, huge fucking fat lie. If your family earns less than $250,000 a year, you will not see your taxes increase. That's such a big lie that just about every American could see that one pretty plainly. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. The real gamble in this election is playing the same Washington game with the same Washington players and expecting a different result. What a huge fucking lie. Here's a guy who assembled the entire Clinton administration and dragged out every has-been in economics and politics for the last 4 years to assemble his administration. I mean, Larry Summers, he should be in a nursing home. Paul Volcker, he should be in a nursing home. Joe Biden should be in a nursing home. Half that administration should be in a nursing home. And Hillary Clinton should be in a nursing home for bitches. But anyway, that said, let's move on to some more lies. I'll make oil companies like Exxon pay a tax on their windfall profits, and we'll use the money to help families pay for their skyrocketing energy costs and other bills. All right, that's two big, huge fucking lies rolled together, because first of all, oil companies are still getting windfall profits, and they're not paying taxes on them. BP, I mean, look at BP. They created a huge dead zone in the Gulf, and they're still getting tax breaks and windfall profits. And then to say he's going to take that money and help families pay their skyrocketing energy costs on the bills, how's that work? So you're going to take tax money away from oil companies and then just mail out checks so people can pay their electric bills? I don't see how that works. So that's kind of a, I don't know what you call that. It's not quite a lie. It's a fantasy. That's what it is. It's a fantasy. It's a delusion. Let's see. Obama will not sign any non-emergency bill without giving the American public an opportunity to review and comment on the White House website for 5 days. Well, that's a big fucking lie, because as usual, everything's just flying through Congress at record speed in the dead of night with 5 guys hanging out there. So, and Obama will sign just about everything. So, and so there, that's just the first 100 days. So there's the first 100 days of lies. That's pretty impressive in itself. But then it just goes on and on and on. He said there'd be military tribunals for Guantanamo interns. Never happened. He said we will launch a sweeping effort to root out waste, inefficiency, and unnecessary government spending in our government, and every American will be able to see how and where we spend taxpayer dollars by going onto a new website, recovery.gov. So he may not have lied saying he was going to do that, but the fact that it's out there is a big lie, because he spent $84 million on the website and it doesn't even have a search function. And of course, nobody uses it, and who fucking cares? He said there was going to be a public option in healthcare. That was a lie. He said that in a debate, he accused Hillary Clinton of wanting to achieve universal healthcare by forcing everybody to purchase it, which of course is what he turned around and did with Obamacare. So that's a fucking lie. One of my favorites. He said Guantanamo will be closed no later than January 10th, 2010. So pretty sure that's been 2 years late, and it's still open. And that's a personal favorite of mine, because all my liberal friends are convinced that Guantanamo was closed a long time ago because Obama said he would. So that's a personal big fucking lie that really fucking pisses me off. And he said in 2007, he said, if I'm the Democratic nominee, I will aggressively pursue an agreement to preserve publicly financed general election. Of course, by 2008, he said he wouldn't participate in the public financing system. In 1997, he said he wouldn't support federal legislation to overhaul welfare. But by 2008, he applauded Clinton's efforts to overhaul welfare. In 2008, he supported gay marriage. That hasn't really been on the agenda. So 2007, he said, I am not a proponent of nuclear energy. Of course, now he supports nuclear energy, and so that's a fucking lie. 2007, Obama said there would be no retroactive immunity for telecommunications companies, which of course there is retroactive immunity for telecommunications companies, so there's another fucking lie. I like when they question about NAFTA too. He said sometimes during campaigns the rhetoric gets overheated and amplified. So there's his alibi and his excuse for lying. that sometimes during campaigns the rhetoric gets overheated and amplified. I would qualify that and say sometimes during campaigns politicians actually don't lie once in a while. So, and then, the big ones, of course, are he said, our government will be open and transparent. That's a big fucking lie. The government is less transparent than even Bush, if that's imaginable. He said he would take out terrorists without undermining the Constitution. He spent the last 3 years undermining everything about the Constitution. He mentioned how habeas corpus was the foundation of Anglo-American law. So I guess Obama's destroyed the very foundation of Anglo-American law globally by the NDAA, which, of course, suspends habeas corpus. He said no more illegal wiretapping. That's a big fucking lie because there's more of it. He said there'd be no spying on American citizens. That's a big fucking lie, and there's a lot more of it. He said there'd be no more tracking citizens who protest. That's a big fucking lie, and there's even more of it. He said no more ignoring the law when it is inconvenient. That's a big fucking lie. There's more of it. And he used to be a big believer and strong supporter of net neutrality. And of course, that's a lie, because now we have one internet censorship bill after another coming through Congress, and he can't wait to sign one of them. So, and he reauthorized the Patriot Act. And then, just so this doesn't go on too long, let's just start ramping it up a little bit. Iran, he's fucking lying about Iran. Iraq, he said we'd be out of there. Well, we are and we aren't, so that's a fucking lie. Afghanistan, he said we'd be out. Well, we are and we aren't, so that's a fucking lie. The whole Libya campaign was a fucking lie from the very beginning. What's going on in Syria right now is a fucking lie. What happened in Egypt is a fucking lie. He doesn't have to lie about what's happening in Bahrain because the massacre still continues, but that didn't even come up, so he doesn't have to lie about that. Or, the debt ceiling raises. Remember when he said debt ceiling raises were treasonous and unpatriotic and all that kind of stuff, but now he's president and he wants that debt ceiling as high as it can go. So anyway, there's my wrap up. I'm going to let myself get a little personal here, even though I recommend against it, and say, Obama, you're a big fucking liar, and I shouldn't be any more angry or disappointed in you than I was with all the other presidents and all the other politicians and congressmen and my local politicians and governors and mayors and all you scum that inhabit our government across the country at every level. I shouldn't hold you to those kind of standards, because I should have learned by now, after decades of constant lying, that that's what we're going to get. So anyway, I'm glad I got that off my chest. I feel better. Do you?